Hi guys, it's April. Thank you, Doug. And I have a book to talk to you about. So I will do this review the same way I do all of my other reviews. I will have the non-spoiler section up front, followed by the spoiled-filled dump after that. So if you plan on reading this book after you've heard the review, you have the choice to leave and come back and hear more of my words, or you can just sit and enjoy my face for what it is. So I picked A House of Salt and Sorrow by Erin A. Craig for my Book of the Month book pick, and I am so freaking glad that I did. This is a 12 Dancing Princess retelling, but it goes on this really dark discovery of things that are just so amazing and make my heart so very happy. It follows a girl named Anna Lee, who is one of 12 sisters. Her sisters have been dying off. People think the family is cursed, and at times it feels like the house is haunted. Anna Lee starts getting visions. Then one day, Anna Lee and her remaining sisters discover a door to another place and get invited to a ball. Herein starts their adventures of nightly escapades of dancing the night away, and throughout all of this, there is this eerie sense of dread. I really, truly enjoyed this story, if you haven't picked up on that. Anna Lee and her family live by the sea, and so there is a lot of nautical lore and a lot of nautical culture that I really think added to the eerie atmosphere of this story. You also got some very disturbing scenes that I really, really liked. Craig knows what she is doing when she wrote this story. I am in awe of what she did for her first book. I believe this is a debut. I'm pretty positive I am going to be buying her books as they come out from this point on because I absolutely adored this story. This is a book that I binged within 24, 48 hours, and I haven't gotten this excited about a book in a very, very long time. It was an easy read, but a creepy, eerie, dark, atmospheric retelling that just spoke to all sides of what I look for in a story. There's a little bit of romance, there is a lot of family building. There's just something about the way the story was told that it brought me back to a lot of the Dark Secret series by Elizabeth Chandler that I love so much. So I got on with this story to no end. And so if you like retellings, if you like dark and eerie, if you like a little bit of gore, putting that out there, and if you like just human mystery, discovery, and twist and things, I don't know how else to describe this, but I really like this book, and it's probably one of my favorite of the year, so I'm just saying you need to read this book if you haven't already. So those were my non-spoiler thoughts on this book. I will now go into some spoiled-filled things because that is what I do. I have to say that there were a few things that were very stereotypical in this read, but there weren't a lot. The biggest thing was, of course, the stepmother being the actual evil in this story. She wasn't necessarily evil, she just got dealt a really bad hand in life and wanted to get revenge in a way that didn't actually work out very well, because you should never, when you don't know all of the situation. And the fact that it was the stepmother, I guess, lends itself to the fact that it is a fairy tale retelling, and a lot of times it is the stepmother who makes all of this happen. So I can appreciate that, but part of me wanted it to be something else. The whole time I had Fisher pegged for being the bad person in this story. And I was right, to an extent, not quite in the way I thought it was. Because I didn't realize he was dead until we discovered the lighthouse keeper dead, and then I started thinking, well, maybe Fisher isn't Fisher. And all of that spiraled out of control. I'm a little interested in finding out. I know it was just the last 3 sisters who died that were actually part of this whole fiasco, but why all of the other sisters, maybe the family is just accident prone, and that's unfortunate. I mean, there is a reason you had lots of children at this point, because you didn't know who was going to survive, but part of me wants to know a little bit more backstory on the sisters that we didn't get to see in this story. But I just like the atmosphere, the oceanic, eerie, mist, cold, cliff-watered, salted place that all of this is set in. The whole time I was reading it, it was dark and eerie and great. And I'm really glad that I read this book. This is one that I am probably going to reread several times, which is great because it's a standalone, which lends itself really well to being rereads. But this is one of those stories that just actually took me to the place, made me live out all of Anna Lee's gory visions with the bathtub and with her sisters and maggots and the turtle. The turtle probably grossed me out the most in all of this. But when a book can make me feel things like that, I know it is doing its job, and I loved it for it. I really hope she writes more because I will be eating it up like you will not believe. I loved it to death. I would really love to hear your thoughts down below. Please and thank you, because I need more people to talk to about this because it is freaking amazing and I love it. And with that, I heart you beautiful faces. Bye.